Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are taking a good care of yourself. So, children, let us start today's mathematics class of grade 10th. This is class 10th, subject mathematics, chapter number 6, triangles, lecture number 13th. And content I am going to cover from your textbook, that is NCERT. Children, do you remember that in previous lecture, that was lecture number 12, I made you understand the problems based on Pythagoras as well as its converse. And after that, I started with HOTS questions, that is HOTS questions. So today's topic which I am going to cover with, they are HOTS questions from exercise 6.6, which is optional exercise of your NCERT textbook. Clear, students? So children, as from the name itself we can understand that these are HOTS questions, so we need to pay extra heed. Okay, so let us start. This is question number 1. In the given figure, PS is the bisector of angle QPR of triangle PQR. Let us check in the diagram. There is a triangle PQR. PS is the angle bisector of angle QPR. So what do you mean by the term bisector? Bisector means which divides. If I am going to talk about the angle bisector, so angle bisector is nothing but that line segment which divides the complete angle in two equal parts. So children, as I know that here PS is the angle bisector of angle QPR, so can we say that angle QPS is equal to angle RPS? Or as I have given the name in the figure, so through this name you can easily judge that angle 1 is equal to angle 3. Correct? Now, what I have to prove? I have to prove that QS upon SR, QS upon SR is equal to PQ upon PR. This I have to prove. Clear, children? Okay. While looking at the diagram, when I marked that QS upon SR is equal to PQ upon PR, we have to prove. So something may have struck in your mind that if this line PS is parallel to some different line which we can take in construction, then definitely to prove this expression we will have to apply basic proportionality theorem, which was the very first concept of this chapter. So let us see what I am going to apply to prove the required result. Okay. So in figure, PS is the angle bisector of angle QPR of triangle PQR. So we can say that angle 1 is equal to angle 3. This is given to us. Correct? What we have to prove? We have to prove that QS upon SR is equal to PQ upon PR. Fine. Now please be alert. Because in basic proportionality theorem, I told you that if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides at two distinct points, then the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. So let us check whether BPT is going to be applied over here or not. So first of all, children, I am going to do some construction. Now draw RT. This is RT, which is the dotted line, parallel to SP, and it meets QP produced at T. This is QP. I am going to produce QP, and this line RT is going to meet at point T. Got it? Okay. Now in proof what I have to do? Because here I have taken in construction that RT, this dotted line, RT is parallel to SP. If RT is parallel to SP, then can I say that PR will be the transversal line? Of course. SP and RT both are parallel. So definitely if I am going to extend it, so this PR will enact as transversal line. So if PR is transversal, can I say that angle 1 is equal to angle 2? Why? Because they both are alternate interior angles. So the same thing is written as RT is parallel to SP and transversal PR intersect them. Then we can say that angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because they both are alternate interior angles. Correct? Now let us take this condition once again. As SP and RT both are parallel, so one transversal was PR. Correct? Can you guess which one will be the another transversal? Correct. It will be QT will be the another transversal. Because SP and RT, they both are parallel line. One transversal is PR. On the basis of PR transversal, we have reached on the condition that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Now QT will also enact as a transversal line because it is also going to intersect both the parallel lines at point P as well as point T respectively. Correct? So can I say that angle 3 is equal to angle 4? Why? This angle is also above the parallel line and angle 4 is also above the parallel line, and they both are on the same side of the transversal as well as having the same matching position. Then can you guess what kind of angles they both are? Yes, angle 3 and angle 4 both are corresponding angles. Clear? Okay. So when angle 1 is equal to angle 2, that was alternate interior angle, let it consider as equation number 1. And angle 3 is equal to angle 4, they both are also equal. Why? Because line RT is parallel to SP and transversal QT is going to intersect both of them. So let it consider as equation number 2. Correct? But children, do you remember in statement I told you that PS is the angle bisector of QPR. So angle 1 is equal to angle 3 as well. Correct? Okay. So let it consider as equation number 3 which was given to us, that is angle 1 is equal to angle 3 given condition number 2, equation number 3. Fine. Now just be alert. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Fine. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4 as well as angle 1 is equal to angle 3 as well. So first of all I am going to take equation number 1 and equation number 3. What can you conclude from these two? As angle 2 is also equal to angle 1, angle 3 is also equal to 1. So can I write that angle 2 and angle 3 are also equal to each other? Yes or no? Fine. Now you use this condition, angle 2 is equal to angle 3 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. So what can I say? That angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Correct? Let us look in the diagram. Where are angle 2 and angle 4? This is angle 2, that is PRT, and this is angle 4, that is PTR. So if angle 2 and angle 4 both are equal and triangle, there is a triangle formation also, that is PRT, and both the base angles are equal. So what kind of triangle it will be formed? Yes, it will be an isosceles triangle. So can I say that PR must be equal to PT? Because base angles are equal. So the sides which are opposite to the equal angles, they are also equal. So it implies to PR is equal to PT. Correct? So this is the condition written that PR is equal to PT. Why? Because side opposite to the equal angles are equal. As PRT was an isosceles triangle formed. Correct? This is an isosceles triangle. Got it? Now children, In bigger triangle, that is QRT, I am going to apply basic proportionality theorem. How? As I know that SP is parallel to RT. So, what can we say? That QS upon SR must be equal to QP upon PT. But PT is equal to what? PR. So ultimately we have reached on the result. Let us compare. QS upon SR is equal to QP upon PR. The same thing we wanted to prove. Yes or no? Now, in triangle QRT, as PS is parallel to RT, so by basic proportionality theorem, we can say that QS upon SR is equal to PQ upon PT. And PT can be replaced by PR. Why? Because PRT is going to form an isosceles triangle. Okay. And in isosceles triangle, you know that two sides are equal. So which are those two sides? That is PT as well as PR. Got it? Now let us switch to next HOTS question. That is question number 2. In the given figure, D is a point on hypotenuse AC of triangle ABC. Let us check. There is a right angled triangle. D is a point on hypotenuse AC of right angle triangle ABC, which is right angle at B point, such that BD is perpendicular to AC. This is BD. Means BD is perpendicular to AC and DM is perpendicular to BC. DM is perpendicular to BC. And what else is given? DN is also perpendicular on AB. DN is also perpendicular on AB. So there are three perpendiculars drawn. Let us recall them. One DN, which is perpendicular on height. One DM, which is perpendicular on base. And another BD, which is perpendicular on hypotenuse. Correct? Now what we have to prove? We have to prove that DM square is equal to DN into MC. DN into MC. And in second part we have to prove that DN square is equal to DM into AN. This is DM into AN. So when you are observing the statement as well as the diagram, you have noticed one thing, that there are three perpendicular drawn. And one perpendicular is drawn from the right angle of a right angled triangle on its hypotenuse. So can we apply theorem 6.7? What was that? Whenever there is a perpendicular drawn from the right angle of a right angled triangle on its hypotenuse, then there are two triangles formed, and both the triangles are similar to each other as well as they are similar to the bigger triangle too. In the same manner here also. Here also you can say that CMD is similar to BMD. Similarly you can say B and D is similar to A and D. Yes or no? But here I am not going to write the statement of theorem 6.7. In fact, I am going to make you recall the concept which I applied to prove theorem 6.7, because the same concept I am going to apply over here so that I can prove both of these smaller triangles as similar. Why do I want to prove them similar? Children, through this I got the clue that I want DM square. Means DM I want twice. So how can I get them twice? I told you that this to prove will always help you to choose the appropriate right angle triangle. So when I saw that DM can come twice only when I am going to choose triangle CMD as well as BMD. In the same manner for DN square as well. Correct? So now let us start its solution. Given D is a point on hypotenuse AC of triangle ABC such that DM is perpendicular on BC, DN is perpendicular on AB, angle B is of 90 degree, as well as BD is perpendicular on AC, which is the hypotenuse. Fine. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove that DM square is equal to DN into MC. And in B part we have to prove DN square is equal to DM into AN. So let us start its proof now. We have done the same type of question earlier also. Only one important, or I should say that one small concept is included in it. Fine, that's why it has become the HOTS. Please be alert. In triangle CMD and triangle DMB, these two smaller triangles I am going to take. Fine. Angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Reason you know, 90 degree each. Fine. Now I have to prove either angle 4 is equal to angle 6 or angle 1 is equal to angle 5. So how can it be done? For that I am going to apply the same concept. Other than 90 degree we have to take the sum of rest of the two angles that will also be equal to 90 degree. Same concept I am going to apply in triangle CMD. So let us apply. Leaving angle 2. So angle 1 plus angle 4 will be of 90 degree. Let it consider as equation number 1. Correct? Now again I am going to apply the same concept in the bigger triangle. Do you remember? When I explained you theorem 6.7, then also I applied in one smaller triangle and another one the bigger right angle triangle. Correct? So now you apply in triangle DCDB. So I am going to leave what? Angle 4 plus angle 5 because it is forming 90 degree. So it means angle 1 plus angle 6 will also be equal to 90 degree. Let it consider as equation number 2. In equation 1 and in equation 2 I observed that angle 1 plus angle 4 and angle 1 plus angle 6 both are of 90 degree. As RHS are equal, so left hand side will also be equal. So angle 1 plus angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 6. 1 and 1 are going to be cancelled. So it implies to angle 4 is equal to angle 6. Correct? Now I know angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Angle 4 is equal to angle 6. Just look at in these two triangles. 2 is equal to 3. Fine. And angle 4 is equal to angle 6. So by double asimilarity criteria, can I say that triangle CMD is similar to triangle DMB? Of course. So now children, by double asimilarity criteria, what can I say? That triangle CMD is similar to triangle BDMB. Correct? So if both the triangles are similar to each other, then can I say that the corresponding sides must be in the same ratio? Of course. But in to prove what I want DM square. So I have to take that very relation only which will give me DM square. So let us take DM upon BM is equal to CM upon DM. While cross multiplying, I have got DM square is equal to BM into CM. Correct? Now children, just look at the diagram. You will better understand through the diagram. We have proved that DM square is equal to BM into CM. Correct? Just look at here. Here, you know that DN is parallel to BC. And DM is parallel to AB. Correct? So can I say that DN is parallel to MB as well as DM is parallel to NB as well? Correct? And DN and MB both are parallel. Here also DM and NB both are parallel. But here you just see, as the opposite sides are parallel to each other and each and every angle is of 90 degree. Here you can see angle B is of 90 degree, angle N is of 90 degree, angle M is of 90 degree. So definitely this angle D will also be of 90 degree. So when opposite sides are parallel and the each and every angle is of 90 degree, it means it is going to form a rectangle. Fine. Here, this is not essential that I could take the point D here. I could take here also. For example, if I was going to take here, then definitely it would actually show the figure of a rectangle. Yes or no? Fine. Okay. So as now M, B and D has become a rectangle. So can I say that the opposite sides will be equal in length? Of course. So we have proved that DM square is equal to BM into CM. So can I replace BM by DN? Because I want DN, I don't want BM here. So ultimately what will be the result? It will be DM square is equal to, at place of BM I am writing DN into CM or MC. So hence proved. So understood, children? Now I have replaced BM by DN. So I have got that DM square is equal to DN into MC. That is proved. What is the condition that I have explained you? You will have to add these 3 or 4 steps which I have told you in your solution. What do you have to do? You have to just tell that DM is parallel to AB. So DM is parallel to BN as well. In the same manner, DN is drawn parallel to CB because they both are perpendicular. Correct? DN is perpendicular on side AB and DM is perpendicular on side CB. So definitely they will be parallel to the opposite sides of each other. Correct? Okay. So now as they both are opposite sides are parallel and each and every angle is of 90 degrees, so it will form a rectangle. And in rectangle opposite sides are equal. So you just interchange this BM by DN. Got it? Now let us switch to the second part. In second part I have taken in triangle BND and triangle DNA. Just look at the diagram. This is BND and DNA. The same concept we have to apply. Angle 7 is equal to angle 8. Why? Both are of 90 degree. See? Angle 7 is equal to angle 8. Both are of 90 degree. Okay. Now in triangle B and D. In triangle B and D. This is B and D. Leaving angle 7, I am writing angle 9 plus angle 11 is of 90 degree. Angle 9 plus angle 11 is of 90 degree. Correct? Now let us take the bigger triangle. That is triangle BDA. In triangle BDA. So leave this part because it will also be of 90 degree. Correct? As complete it is forming 180. This part is of 90. So angle 11 plus angle 12 will also be of 90 degree. So in triangle BDA, if I am going to leave angle 11 plus angle 12, so I can get angle 9 plus angle 10 is equal to 90 degree. Correct? Here it is. So again let us consider them as equation number 1 as well as equation number 2. Equating equation 1 and 2. Angle 9 plus angle 11 is equal to angle 9 plus angle 10. Angle 9 and 9 are going to be cancelled. So angle 11 is equal to angle 10. Just look at here in the diagram. Angle 11 is equal to angle 10. Correct? So now one condition is angle 7 is equal to angle 8. Another condition is angle 11 is equal to angle 10. So on the basis of both of these conditions, we can say that by double asimilarity criteria, triangle B and D is similar to triangle D and A. Now, as in to prove, I want dn square. So let us take the ratio of the corresponding sides of these two similar triangle, that is dn upon an is equal to bn upon dn. Correct? Here is the relation between the corresponding sides. Correct? So now by cross multiplying, I have got dn square is equal to bn into an. Fine. As I have just proved that DMBN is a rectangle. I have proved, right? So definitely this BN will be interchanged by DM because they both are opposite sides of each other. So DN square is equal to DM into AN. Why? Because BN and DM, as DMBN is a rectangle, so BN is equal to DN. So let us replace Bn by Dm. So hence proved. Now children, let us switch to the next horse. In the adjoining figure, two chords AB and CD intersect each other at the point P. Then we have to prove that triangle APC is similar to triangle DPB. And in B part, we have to prove that AP into PB is equal to CP into DP. So let us understand the statement through diagram. So children, this diagram is given to us in the question itself. Fine. In figure, there are two chords, that is AB as well as CD. They are intersecting each other at point P. This is point P. Okay. And what we have to prove? We have to prove that triangle APC, this is APC, is similar to triangle DPB. Correct? These two triangles we have to prove as similar. Okay. Always remember, chord is that line segment whose both the endpoints lie on the circumference of the circle. Like if I am going to talk about chord AB, then A as well as B are lying on the circumference of the circle. Similarly about CD. See, this is center point O, but they both are going to intersect each other at point P. Correct? Okay. Now we have to prove that triangle APC and DPB both are similar to each other. So what is to be done? Let us choose these both triangles to whom we want to prove as similar. Angle 1. Here I have marked angle 1, that is APC, angle 2, that is DPB, and CAP is marked as angle 3, BDP is marked as angle 4. So here angle 1 is equal to angle 2. They both are vertically opposite angles. And we know when there are two lines which are going to intersect each other, vertically opposite angles are formed and they are equal to each other. Correct? Now, children, you learnt in class 9th that angle in the same segment are also equal. Here you can see that angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Why? Because they are made in the same segment. Correct? So as angle 1 is equal to angle 2 due to vertically opposite angles, angle 3 is equal to angle 4 because they made in the same segment. So by double asimilarity criteria, we can say that triangle APC is similar to triangle DPB. So first part is proved. Correct? Now using this first part, we will have to prove this relation also, that is AP into BP is equal to CP into DP. Fine. So now use the same condition which we have proved in our previous part. We have triangle APC is similar to triangle DPB. Correct? So as both the triangles are similar to each other, it means their corresponding sides must be in the same ratio. So can I say that AP upon DP is equal to CP, this CP, upon BP. Correct? So now by cross multiplying, I have got AP into BP is equal to CP into DP. Correct? So hence proved. The same thing we wanted to prove. Got it? Okay. Now that's it for the day. Please understand these HOTS very carefully because they are very important. Sometimes they are asked in board exam as well. Please get your mathematics homework. Do classwork HOTS questions, that is question number 1, 2 as well as 7 of exercise 6.6, which is optional exercise of NCERT in homework notebook. And children, I am going to give you 4 questions to try in practice notebook, that is question number 5, 8, 9 and 10 of exercise 6.6 in practice notebook. You have to send me only these 3 questions which I have taught you in today's lecture through mail. Okay, these questions you can try. If you are capable to do, then you can do directly in FAIR notebook. Otherwise, in my next videos, I am going to explain these very questions as well. After all, they are HOTS. So I find that this is my duty to make you understand each and every HOTS question. Clear, student? So that's it for the day. Please like the video and do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.